It's Linda with No Frills ASMR. I thought maybe we could look a little more at this Who Knew, things you didn't know about things you know well. I think I've done 2 videos where we've looked through this book. So if you want to go back and look for those. But we're on page 161. They have interesting facts like the man who commissioned the Mona Lisa refused it. Rude. 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents died on July 4th. Wow. I don't think we got to that fact, did we? Or have I forgotten it already? 3 of the 5 first U.S. presidents died on July 4th. That is interesting. The company name Atari was chosen so consumers would think the Northern California-based company was Japanese. I do remember that. All right, well, let's see where we're at here. I'm going to take that off. We don't need it. Let's see here. Other books by David Hoffman. The Joy of Pigging Out. Yes. Very LA. The Native's Guide to the Best of LA. Kids Stuff. Great Toys from Our Childhood. We have to look for that one. Kids Stuff. Great Toys from Our Childhood. I wonder if it has good pictures. I've had 1 or 2 commenters request doing vintage toys. And I kind of looked around because, I do have a lot of vintage things. I don't have a ton of toys. I have cars. But when I start going to antique shows this spring, I'll keep an eye out for some things. I don't want to spend a lot of money, though, because sometimes those old toys are expensive. All right, let's see. The 3-tone... I may have already read, I don't remember if I read this page or not. The 3-tone musical chime that identifies NBC is composed of 3 notes, G, E, and C, which is short for the company's original and now current owner, General Electric Corporation. Wow. Did they really plan all that out, or is that a coincidence? So I think sometime I'll do a video on musical notation and the different, someday. I have to study that up. I did play clarinet, so I am basically an expert. Seinfeld wasn't Jerry Seinfeld's first sitcom. He played the governor's speechwriter on Benson, but was fired after 3 episodes. I think I read that in a short one time. The coffee shop frequented by Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer was called Monk's because there was a Thelonious Monk poster in the office where Seinfeld and co-creator Larry David would write. Yeah, Larry David is, from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and him and Jerry Seinfeld wrote Seinfeld. So if you enjoy one of those shows, you might enjoy the other one because they're kind of similar. The Mod Squad was based on a true story. Huh. I never watched the Mod Squad. I'm not familiarly. I mean, I know of it. In most TV commercials and print advertisements, the hands on the watch are set to 10:10 because that arrangement draws attention to the logo and frames the manufacturer's name. What? Hold on. This requires animation. And by animation, I mean me drawing a clock. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a memory thing that they give you to see. Oh my God. See, guys. Okay, I just gotta back this up for a minute. My dad has Alzheimer's. And part of why I do this channel, as some of you know who've watched a lot of my videos, is because I have some concerns sometimes about my memory. But one of the tests that they give you that for many people who have dementia becomes extremely difficult is drawing a clock face. And the fact that I just did that, actually, I want to laugh to not cry. Anyway, okay. If you ever draw a clock face, draw the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9 first. If you go take that test for dementia, it'll help you. It's a cheat. Okay, so in a TV commercial, print advertising, the hands on a watch are set at 10, 10. So the short hand's on the 10, and the long hand is on the 2. The big hand, I should say. Because the arrangement draws attention to the logo and frames the manufacturer's name. Because the logo would be here, is that it? I guess so. All my watches are by Rolex, obviously. Okay, well that was a real not great thing. Didn't make me feel so good. All right. Aunt Harriet, the matriarch of stately Wayne Mansion, never existed in the comic book version of Batman, but was created specifically for the TV series because producers feared that 2 bachelors and a butler living together had homosexual overtones. Ooh. Yeah, and having an older woman living with them really clears that up. Ralph Cramden's address in The Honeymooners, 328 Chauncey Street, was actually the real address of Jackie Gleason's childhood home. Okay. The Honeymooners. I used to like The Honeymooners, and I still do. I still think it's good. But the character, Ralph, Ralph's the main one, right? Not the neighbor. I feel like Ralph's the neighbor. Wait a minute. I can't remember. But the one main couple, he was always like, death on the moon, and he was always kind of gonna beat her up. Just a little messed up. The X-Files detective Scully was named in honor of Vin Scully, the well-loved announcer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mulder, for the record, is show creator Chris Carter's mother's maiden name. Okay. On Happy Days, creator Gary Marshall originally planned to call the motorcycle riding tough guy Arthur Mascarelli, which is his real-life family surname, but that made the character's nickname MASH, since there was already a successful book, movie, and TV series known as that. Mascarelli became Fonzarelli, and Henry Winkler became the Fonz. There is a real funny scene in Arrested Development where Henry Winkler plays a lawyer on there, and him and I think it's Jason Bateman's character, and maybe there's even a third character. Anyway, they're in the bathroom before court or something, and Jason Bateman kind of looks and he combs his hair, and they're about to go into court, and then the other guy, I think he's bald, and he kind of looks at his hair, and then Henry Winkler's character grabs his comb and holds it up to his hair and then goes like he did when he was Fonz. It made me LOL. Because Fonz used to do that. He'd act like he's going to comb his hair and then be like, "No, it's perfect." Bullwinkle was the name of a car dealership in Oakland, California. Bullwinkle. I used to love Bullwinkle and Rocky and Natasha. June Foray, the voice of Rocky, the flying squirrel, was also the voice of the chatty Cathy doll. That's funny. Chatty Cathy always makes me think of, there was a Twilight Zone episode where, this is scary, so if you don't want to be scared, skip 10 seconds. Okay, 10, 9, oh, so there was a little doll, and she would talk, and she would go, my name's, I forget, something, and I'm going to kill you. Anyway, Barbie's last name is Roberts. Barbie Roberts. Okay. A standard size slinky comprises 8 feet of wire. I think I said in another video the slinky was always my most disappointing toy because the commercials would I show it going down the steps like all the way down, and then I finally got one and it would go down like one step and then you had to correct it. I don't know, it never worked. Lincoln Logs were invented by John Lloyd Wright, the son of Frank Lloyd Wright. He got the idea from a building technique his father had used in designing Tokyo's Imperial Hotel. I want to do a few videos on architecture because I find it interesting. But Frank Lloyd Wright, there's so much about him, and it's kind of his like personal story is kind of interesting. But it's almost a true crime. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't, feel like, anyway, whatever. Silly putty resulted from a failed World War II effort to develop an inexpensive synthetic substitute for rubber. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I don't want to draw your attention to it, but if you hear Celine Dion in the background, I believe that's my my son taking a shower. He's suddenly gotten into Celine Dion, which is kind of funny but sweet. Not as normal. Usually listens to rap. Play-Doh was originally formulated as a compound to clean wallpaper. Oh, Play-Doh was originally formulated to clean wallpaper. Oh, you'd like stick it on there? Okay. The ingredient believed to give the clay its unique smell is vanilla. Interesting. It doesn't smell particularly like vanilla, but okay. The smell of Crayola crayons is so familiar that it is one of the 20 most recognizable scents to American adults, ranking up there with coffee and peanut butter. So soothing that sniffing them has been proven to lower blood pressure. Okay, hold on. I have some right here. Let's take a nasal appraisal and see what we think here. I don't know. Are these too old? I mean, they smell a little bit. Hold on. I have another box. Let's see if this one's any different. I don't know which one would be newer. They're probably both from 15 years ago. I don't know, you guys. It just smells like plastic or something. I don't know. Oh my gosh, my blood pressure is so low right now. I might pass out. Just kidding. Okay, well, there we go. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you like the smell of crayons? Maybe those just aren't fresh. In the 1970s, in order to stop kids from sniffing, I read that wrong. In order to stop kids from sniffing airplane glue, the manufacturers added an intense oil of mustard to the formula. What's airplane glue? Oh, I see. For making like little model planes. Yeah, that stuff has a strong smell. I remember my brother using that stuff to build. I'd sit there and watch him because I was quite a bit younger. And I do remember the smell being very strong. Keep him from sniffing it. The total amount of money in a standard Monopoly game is $15,140. Real money was slipped into packs of play money that were smuggled into POW camps inside Germany during World War II. So the Germans would allow POWs to have monopolies given to them. Interesting. They'd slip real money. Huh. Okay, I've never heard that. I almost want to look that up now. The 52 playing cards in a typical deck represents the 52 weeks in a year. The 4 suits represent the 4 seasons. I have never heard that before. The 52 playing cards represent the 52 weeks in a year, and the 4 suits the 4 seasons. So which suit do you think is which season? I would say clubs are fall, diamonds are spring, hearts are summer, and spades are winter. If I were matching them in my, feels. 6 8-stud Lego pieces can be combined 1 million to... No. What? I can't read this number. 102,981,500 ways. Thank you very much. The Rubik's Cube can be twisted and turned into over 43 quintillion, to be exact. And they give a number, 43 quintillion, 252 quintillion, trillion, 100, or 3 billion, 274 million. Nope, I'm still not there. Whatever. Anyway, 43 quintillion configurations in the attempt to line up one solid color on all 6 sides. Yeah. There's a trick, to that you can memorize. And I feel like a lot of, it was a guy thing. I don't know, but all the guys in the 80s, not all of them, but, I don't want to call them nerds, but all the nerd guys could do that. They had it memorized. They could just go, they could do it blindfolded. I peeled the stickers off because I was stupid. I was a kid and my brother got so mad. Oops. Mexican jumping beans jump because there is an actual 1/4 inch caterpillar trapped inside. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? I mean, weird that people, I don't know, used to carry those around and be like, oh, the Mexican jump. The liquid inside a magic 8-ball consists of water, blue coloring, and propylene glycol, an antifreeze, to keep the solution from turning solid during shipping. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. The Ouija board got its name from the combination of the French and German words for yes, oui, and ya, Ouija. Ouija. Ouija board. Is it pronounced Ouija? And I'm saying it wrong. Ouija. Ouija. I don't know. I don't know much about Ouija boards, but one time my sister and I almost bought one at a garage sale just for fun. And we got home and her husband was like, don't you ever bring that in our house. Because he's old school. Well, he used to be a Catholic, and I guess they really don't like him. So I don't know anything about it. I did play with one once. I don't know, in probably 3rd grade at a sleepover. I think it's all a little silly. The name Atari was chosen so that consumers would think that the Northern California-based company was Japanese. We just read that one. Despite repeated requests for Elvis, the only real people ever depicted as Pez dispensers have been Betty Ross and Daniel Boone. Oh, I wish there was more of this book. I like this book. It's fun. We only have a couple more pages. Donald Duncan of Duncan Yo-Yo fame was also responsible for marketing the first parking meters. He brought so much joy to the world and also so much pain in the butt. So that's interesting. Duncan Yo-Yo also was responsible for marketing the first parking meters. So he didn't invent them, he just marketed them, but still interesting. The nail on both thumbs of every G.I. Joe is deliberately cast on the inside as opposed to the outside of the hand, so as to give the action figure an easily identifiable characteristic that doubles as a trademark. Say what? The nail on both thumbs is cast on the inside as opposed to the outside of the hand? I guess I've never looked at a G.I. Joe. I had no idea. Okay. I never had Barbies or dolls growing up. I just didn't. I wasn't into it. I had stuffed animals. On the average, we forgot 80% of what we learn on any given day. On average, we forget 80% of what we learn on any given day. I definitely do. There are videos that I've posted where people are commenting and talking to me about it, and I'm like, I have to rewatch the video because I don't remember like what I learned on that day. But some of it sticks with me. I think some of the interstate stuff sticks with me. Yeah, I don't know, a lot of the things I've talked about. The barometer, that really stuck with me. I thought that was interesting. Nobody watched that video. I'm trying to think what else I've done videos on. Some things I already kind of knew about. What century is it, and jump starting a car, things like that. Kitchen fires, I knew kind of about that already. Trying to think what I really learned about. I don't know, but I feel like that's one of those facts that they just say, because how can anybody prove or disprove? You know, it's sort of silly, isn't it? I don't buy it. Honestly, I don't buy it. Not if you're taught correctly. Not if you're taught in the way your brain, like I'm a kind of visual person. I think I have to see things. If you just tell me something, yeah, I probably won't remember it. But if I see it visually, then I'll probably remember. I think. All right, well, that was a fun book. What did I say his other book was? Look, 80%, I already forgot it. Kids stuff, great toys from our childhood. I might have to look that one up. Anyway, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I will